All right, on the bench today we've got the infamous, the one and only 10R80. This one's out of a 2019 Ford Expedition 10R. And it's got quite a bit of miles, about 220,000 miles on this truck, which is really good for these transmissions. If you've Googled 10R80, you know all about their reputation. And this one had codes of P0731, gear 1 incorrect ratio, 736 in reverse incorrect ratio, and a P2700 transmission friction element A applying time range performance. Basically means element A is not coming on fast enough for the computer's liking. And I want to point out we've got some mice turds. And yes, vermin, rats, squirrels, any kind of those little critters like the chew on things that can get in tight spaces. Do your best to keep them away from your vehicles. They like to chew on the wires and cause all kinds of havoc, build nests in places. Just not a good situation. So be kind of leery of all those little critters hanging around your car, and trying to keep food in your car that can attract them to your car also. So just avoid all that. Without further ado, let's get this thing apart. Torque converter, we got some really nasty fluid in there. And it's got quite a bit of buildup in here of just dirt. Now this one, we've been tasked by the warranty company that the customer had to tear it down, to find the point of failure. Now commonly on these, it's the CDF drum that fails. The little sleeve will move inside of the drum, cutting off lubrication. I've been applied oil to different clutches. Now, I'm not in a race to get this thing apart. I don't like to rush too much when tearing a transmission down, because a lot of times you can have some failures that you can pick up on the diagnostic run and something like that. But when you're tearing it down, it's kind of like an autopsy. You want to see what failed, how it failed, why it failed. Anything to help make, when we go back to rebuild it, make the thing work better than it did, better service life. And knowing why it failed, what contributed to its failure, will help you gather information to build it back better. You don't want to yank this pan off too fast, or you're going to get a nice bath of disgusting transmission fluid. And we got a little bit of buildup there. That's more than I usually see on these. That's a good bit. Put that off to the side there. We got the filter here. Alright, not Picking the dirty one back up. What did I do? Rookie mistake. I grabbed the 30 first. You saw that, right? And I second guessed myself. This is the start-stop motor. This is what keeps the transmission in gear when your truck shuts off at the stoplight. I'm sure a lot of you, including myself, find that extremely annoying. Put that in place. Got a few. Now they made this a little bit idiot-proof. What's this? See, like I told you, it's an autopsy. I don't know where that goes. That came out of the start-stop motor. That's interesting. Oh, look at that. That's strange. Could that have caused a failure? Maybe. Like I said, they idiot-proof this. They put little arrows here. These, oh, what bolts do I take out? Oh, the ones with the arrows, dummy. Oh, okay. Because some of those transmission guys are pretty dumb. So having arrows helps. And that is the valve body. This has its own host of problems that we'll address during the rebuild. Let's get these speed sensors out of the way. This unit has a total of 4 speed sensors. And that's your range sensor there, and this is the pump. Now, there's newer 10 speeds running pump that sits off to the side or the bottom of the main unit. I find this design a little bit easier to work with than the traditional design and a lot less prone to issues. And this is our dipstick here. Let's get that out before we break it. So instead of having a nice long dipstick tube, you got a tiny little stub with a stick inside of it. Alright. Now down to the nitty gritty. Alright, I've got the tool in here. This will pull the pump out for us. Well, I say pump, it's not the pump. I'm so used to calling it a pump because it's typically where the pump is located, but in this, there's no pump inside here. It's just a gear and an idler. That's the pump. So it's our support. It does have a set of clutches on the back side of it. We'll get to those in a little bit. Ooh, there is our, that should not be wavy. There's not much left of that plate at all, and it is not happy. And so we're going to pull the entire gear train out with one swift motion. Alright. pull all the way out. There we go. And pull the rest. Look at this. You can imagine there's a ply issue here. These, I've seen wavy frictions before, but this is ridiculous. Look at this. I mean, that doesn't get any more comical. That's like a cartoon. That's absolute junk. I wonder if the warranty company will agree that's a failure point. Alright, let's pop this off. Alright, there we go. I always try to keep my parts together because you never know what kind of updates or changes they can make, and you can miss something and be in a world of hurt. And you got to put it back together again. Well, it doesn't look like there's a significant CDF damage here. Usually this bottom ceiling ring will get pushed off when the sleeve moves, and it's still hanging out. You can see that steel right there. It got some heat to it. So this F clutch got a little hot. So I believe this is the A clutch here, and that would make sense for range performance time. And the sleeve has moved a little bit. This loophole here would be a little bit more covered up, so it has moved slightly, but not a ton. This one does not have the updated drum in it. There should be a stop here. Alright, we got more of the gear train out. We don't do that. Look at that. That should be nice and flat, and it is run right into the planetary here. It's not supposed to touch. I will show you how it is supposed to ride and what's causing that in a minute. These are either really, don't see any significant signs of heat, but they're pretty old. Alright, so planetary issue here. Let's look at that a little closer. So this is the gear train support. A lot of people commonly refer to it as the trash can. And so if you look at the very top of the support here, I hope you can see this through my glasses here, but there is a considerable wear here. This is where this support rides on this, and what happens is it will drop down, and when that drops down, this will stand off just enough or it won't make contact, and when this wears down, it'll allow it to drop and rub against the inside of the planetary. That's what's happening here. Some people are putting bearings here or machining out washers and things like that. If with a new drum it's not necessary, but it depends on how long these drums last, because they're only aluminum. They have a new updated one that's anodized, but how long is it going to last? We don't know. Time's going to tell. And if you look here where the F clutches ride, see if I can get my face in there. This is where the F clutches eat into the drum itself. So there's two wear points we have to look out for with the trash can. And this trash can is in fact now trash. And watch out when you pull the planetary out, as there's this nice swamp of fluid here, and you'll get a nice deluge if you're not careful. Issues with this big old monster planetary. Alright, see if I can get a couple of these clutch packs opened up. Take a look at them. I'm not going to take all of them apart because some of them require a little more labor to get apart. I'm not going to waste time recording all that. As you can see, that's gotten hot. That should be nice and clean. See the hot spots around here. The shadowing, you can call it. I wouldn't call it a hot spot, more shadowing. That's evidence of, you know, distress. I won't say outright slipping, but definitely distress, which is not good. That's how dark it's getting there. It was not a happy clutch pack. And see, these have a little bit of distress there, and they're not as bad as this clutch pack here. But like I said, this did have 220,000 miles on it, so I'm not surprised to see what we're seeing. Alright, you're gonna be we have a 3 snap ring design here. This first snap ring can be a pain. With some willpower it comes out. And then we have the second snap ring. There she goes. And the third snap ring. These are the F clutches, and then you can see, you know, this is hot. It got hot here. Some heat was in this one, and I think what they get hot because they hang up in that the gear support there, and then they'll get like really quickly heated up because they're not letting loose or not applying as the force comes onto them, and you get these individual steels that are hotter than the rest of them, which is strange sight to see. But I think it's because, you know, different ones get hung up and they'll get pushed on harder and it'll cause it to. So an exact point of failure is what the warranty company wants. They want to know exactly what failed. Well, as you can see, there's not always one point of failure in the transmission. A lot of this is why you can't always point at one thing and say that's the problem. And a lot of times why you can't just replace one particular item in a transmission, because you tear it down and you find multiple things that are wrong. And so that's why it needs to be rebuilt, so we can replace this part, we can replace these parts in the clutches that are, you know, getting significant wear to them, and put the updated parts in there that maybe are not 100% bad yet, but they are on their way out the door. That's kind of what we deal with on a basis. And, you know, I'm not going to stick this converter back in there. That's 220,000 miles. Why would I pull it out and not replace it? So, as far as the warranty company is concerned, this would be the reason why the transmission had to come out. I'm going to look at the clutch apply charts when I get through here, and I'm going to bet this is the clutch that's causing all the issues. As you can see, why did it fail? I'm not 100% sure yet. It might have something to do with this. That does not look like it is innocent to me. So I'm going to look and see exactly which clutch the start-stop motor keeps on, or tries to keep on, when the truck shut off, and that may be related here, or there could be an issue inside the valve body causing problems. So what's the cause of failure? What caused all this to happen? The miles. It's just got a bunch of miles on it. It's time. So we're gonna get all this cleaned up. A lot of cleaning. It's pretty nasty. And get some parts ordered. Call our local Ford dealership up get those on the way and update the warranty company and see what their next move is. The client wants to get this thing done regardless of what the warranty company said. So we're going to get things coming so we can keep him moving. And then we'll just kind of update the warranty company and let them know and see what they're going to cover on this. All right. Thank y'all.